What's up, everyone? Eric here with Classic Wax Sports Cards. Today I'm going to bring you a little bit longer video of the Kellogg's 3D baseball cards. These were out. These started back in 1970. It was the initial year that they released these, and Kellogg's did a set all the way from 1970 to 1983. They were the 3D baseball cards. They're very unique. I've always been drawn to them when I was a kid. I always liked these whenever I'd come across them. Didn't really know much about them. What I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you a couple complete sets that I have, and I'm gonna show you how they originally came when you ordered these through the mail through Kellogg's. They came in these boxes. Now I just opened a 1982 set, and they came just like this in these little envelopes. I'm going to open the 1980 one here today for you that I haven't touched yet. I just got it a couple weeks ago. I opened the 82 the other day. That's how it came, right like that in that little box. I've had a few other ones over the years. I've used them for my wax packs here. Like you see, these Classic Wax Sports Cards, which is my repack product that I've been doing. It's very vintage oriented. We use a lot of these Kellogg's cards in there. So first thing I'm going to do is go over this, show you this 1982 set that is really cool. And I put these all in card savers. Now, I would recommend the best way to store these is in these card savers. From what I've done research on, the top loaders will possibly crack these. It's almost too much. So these are very delicate. They're made out of plastic and they can crack, which is very typical. Now, this set that I just pulled brand new, this set was like pristine. These are all basically mint. There was no cracking on any of them. You just have some centering issues from the perforation. But I'm going to flip through these and show you. But I would recommend that if you have these, the best way to hold them is in these thin card savers. I have this one in the Beckett Shields just because I had so many of them, and there's like 60-something cards in this set. So without further ado, I'm going to flip through this one, and then I'm going to show off some more, and then we're going to open the 1982 box, or the 1980 box, excuse me. So these are filled with Hall of Famers. That's what I like about it. And there's some different poses and pictures that are different from a lot of their Topps cards and a lot of their other cards. First one you have here is Richie Zisk, Bill Buckner, get George Brett, really cool Ricky Henderson. Now this is his second Kellogg's card. He has an 81 Kellogg's card, not an 80 Kellogg's card, unfortunately. Jack Morris, Ozzie Smith, last year with the Padres. Raleigh Fingers. Like I said, these are just chock filled with Hall of Famers. I mean, probably half the set or more is Hall of Famers. Tom Seaver. There's an early Fernando Valenzuela. A pretty cool Hubie Brooks. Nolan Ryan. Dave Winfield. I'll show you the backs of these. Pretty cool. They give a nice big write-up. You know, I really like these. I mean, I don't know what you guys feel about them, but I've always been a big fan. Certain years are cooler looking than others. I think this is a pretty cool year here, 82. Not a big fan of the 83s, the last set. That's probably my least favorite one. Bob Horner, Reggie Jackson, Bert Hooton, really cool Mike Schmidt, Bruce Sutter, my guy Pete Rose. I've got one of these for my Pete Rose PC. Dave Kingman, Neil Allen, I believe it is. Don Sutton, Davey Concepcion. Got a nice Keith Hernandez. Gary Carter with the Expos. Carlton Fisk. Ron Guidry. Steve Carlton. Robin Yount. Bobby Castino. Johnny Bench. Bob Nepper, who looks eerily like Nolan Ryan in that picture. I thought it was Nolan Ryan when I first saw it. And let's see what else. This is the rest of the set here. We're on number 32, so we're about halfway through. Goose Gossage, Buddy Bell, Art Howe, Tony Armas, Phil Niekro, Lem Barker, Bobby Grich, Steve Kemp. There's an early Kirk Gibson. Pretty cool card. Got Carney Lansford with the Red Sox. Jim Palmer. Got Carl Yastrzemski towards the end of his career. Rick Burleson. Dwight Evans. Ron Say. Steve Garvey. Newly minted Hall of Famer Dave Parker. Well-deserved. Mike Easler. Dusty Baker, who's likely to get in the Hall of Fame at some point, I think. Rod Carew. Chris Chambliss. There's your first Tim Raines Kellogg's card. I don't believe he has one in 81. This is his first card there, I think. Chet Lemon. Bill Madlock. George Foster. Dwayne Murphy. Ken Singleton. Mike Norris. Cecil Cooper. Al Oliver. Willie Wilson. Vida Blue. And last but not least, Eddie Murray. Eddie Clarence Murray. So that's the 82 set. We'll set that aside. And now I'm going to show you my set from 1976. These are also in card savers. Got the whole stack here. These are in really good shape. I also have the 74 set that is not in as good a shape. You got some cracking there. This one's in great shape. So I'm going to split these in half, and I'm going to go through these. I think it's Steve Hargan. I might get some of these names wrong on these guys because some of these older guys here in the 70s that weren't the stars, I thought that was Mike Hargan. It's Steve Hargan. So Steve Hargan, card number 1. These are in great shape. And this is another year that I think is a cool design of these. That's what the backs look like. They got a little picture of the guy up in the left-hand corner. So you got Claudell Washington. You got Don Gillette. You got Padres legend Randy Jones. Catfish Hunter. Clay Carroll. Joe Rudy. There's A's teammate Reggie Jackson. Felix Milan. You got a nice Jim Rice there from his second year. See, that's got a little crack right up there, if you can see that, in the top right corner. And that's kind of what you get with these. That's the risk you take with these. And that's why they're very hard to grade. There aren't tons of 10s. There's a lot of 8s and 9s. Burt Blyleven, Ken Singleton, Don Sutton. You got Joe Morgan, another Dave Parker, Dave Cash with the Phillies, Ron LaFleur, the Bull Greg Lazinski. Here's your big rookie card from the set. You got Dennis Eckersley. And that's a pretty good looking card. The bottom left has a little nick right there in the plastic. So that wouldn't grade a 10, obviously, because of that. Nice looking card, though. Bill Madlock, Tony Scott, or excuse me, George Scott. Willie Stargell, Al Hrabosky, the Mad Hungarian. Carl Yastrzemski. Nice looking Yaz. You got Jim Cott. Melito Perez it is? No, Marty Perez. You got Bob Watson. Eric Soderholm. Bill the Spaceman Lee. Frank Tanana, who's probably underrated. If you look at his stats, the guy played forever and put up some big-time numbers career-wise. Fred Lynn. Got Tom Seaver. Tom Terrific. Got Steve Busby. Nice-looking Gary Carter. Second-year Gary Carter. Got Rick Wise. Johnny Bench. Jim Palmer. Bobby Mercer with the Giants. Von Joshua. Lou Brock. Mickey Rivers. Manny Sanguian. Jerry Royce. Got a nice looking Ken Griffey there from early in his career. Ken Griffey Sr. Jorge Orta. John Mayberry. Vida Blue with a little crack right there across the... That one's got a little crack. Rod Carew. John Matlack with a crack there. Boog Powell. Mike Hargrove. I think it's Paul Lindblom. Yeah, Paul. Really cool Thurman Munson. Good shape, too. I mean, these are beautiful shape. They come, you know. Steve Garvey. Ah, there it is. Pete Rose. Greg Gross made the set, which is pretty cool. Phillies pinch hit extraordinaire in the early 80s. And last but not least, Hall of Famer Ted Simmons. Cool looking card there. So that's my 76 set. Now the last one I'm going to show you is this 74. And, you know, this 74 set's got some imperfections to it. That's for sure. Now, the 1974 set has 54 cards in the set. The biggest set that Kellogg's did was the 71 set with 75. The 72 set, they did an all-time baseball greats, like a subset of 15 cards on top of the 54 card regular card set. So if you wanted to collect all of these from 70 all the way through 83, it's not that difficult. It's kind of what I'm doing. There's a handful of years I have, and I'm just kind of picking them up as I go along. I'll upgrade some of these. Like some of these ones are here are really rough, especially in the beginning of this set. They're really cracked, some of the early ones here. But then as it go on, it gets a little better. So first one we got here is Bob Gibson. And like I said, some of these are really rough. As you can see, the cracking all over the front. You got Rick Monday. Got Joe Coleman. Bert Campaneris. Carlton Fisk. Jim Palmer. Ron Santo. Nolan Ryan. Greg Lazinski. Buddy Bell. Bob Watson. Bill Singer. Dave May. Jim Brewer. Manny Sanguian. Jeff Burrows. Amos Otis. Ed Goodson. And then now they start getting a little bit better in condition. Those first, like, 25 cards right there, 20 cards, first, 18 cards were rough. They're all cracked. The rest of them aren't as bad. Nate Colbert. Reggie Jackson. Good-looking Ted Simmons there. Bobby Mercer. Bill Horton. Orlando Cepeda. Ron Hunt. I'm a Phillies fan. Not familiar with Wayne Twitchell. Ron Fairley. Got Johnny Bench. John Mayberry. Got a nice looking Rod Carew, Ken Holtzman, Billy Williams. Pretty cool looking Dick Allen with the White Sox. Believe this might be the year he won MVP. I think he won. No, in 72 he won the MVP. Wilbur Wood. Is it Danny? Yeah, Danny Thompson. Joe Morgan. Nice looking Willie Stargell. Got a Pete Rose there with a slight little crack right there. If you can see that. Yeah, you can see it like that. Bobby Bonds. Chris Spire. Sparky Lyle. Cookie Rojas. Tommy Davis. Catfish Hunter. Willie Davis. Burt Blyleven, Pat Kelly, Ken Singleton with the Expos, Manny Mota, Davey Johnson, Sal Bando, nice looking Tom Seaver, Felix Milan, and last Ron Bloomberg. So that's my 74 set. Not as nice a condition as 76. I'll have to upgrade that at some point. Certainly not as nice a condition as the 82s, and hopefully these are nice. So here is this is how they came. I mean, it's still got the postage on there, and we're gonna see what we got here. Now they're in these little envelopes, and they're very, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to just slide these out nice like this. And then I'm going to go through them. See, what happens is some of them separate and unperforate on their own over time. I've opened a few of these over the years, and it looks like it's the same exact thing here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take, how am I going to do this? Let's go through this stack right here. Looks like we got one together. All right, so we're gonna flip these over and look at them and see what we got here. Oh. All right. So we got Chet Lemon. Now these are the 1980s. Yeah, 1980. Nice looking Chet Lemon. We got Mike Schmidt with some cracking there in the top right. And these have those little like paper flakes on it from the perforation. Got Phil Necro. Got a cool Dave Kingman. So this is what to expect if you buy these off of someone on eBay or something, and they come in one of those little boxes. This is what you're going to get if you open it up. And really, they're typically in good shape. I mean, I've never had any that I open like this where they weren't in good shape. They're just miscut, and occasionally you'll get a handful that are cracked. Darryl Porter. I don't think these are in as nice a shape as the 82s. They look a little more miscut and rough around the edges, but they're still in good shape. And look great once you get them into card savers. You got a Carlton Fisk here. Got Bob Baylor. Ellis Valentine and Cesar Cedeno. Now on these here, you can just see how they just separated. Jason Thompson and Craig Nettles. Let's see here. Let's Take these off the top. You got Fergie Jenkins and George Foster. Got a Mike Flanagan. You got Seaver and Matthews. See how they just kind of pulled apart. Tom Seaver. You got Ron Guidry there. I always forget Burt Blyleven pitched for the Pirates for a period of time. All right, now see here, they're all four. These are all stuck together, but they're really not. They're just hanging on by a thread. So you got Jeff Newman. It's Steve Rogers. You got a nice looking George Brett. That's actually pretty well centered. And Bruce Sutter. Then we've got Johnny Bench with some kind of little bubble on his face, which is not cool. That kind of stinks. Buddy Bell and Lance Parrish. Got Joaquin Andujar. Jack Clark. Let's see here. Bruce Bhakti. Rod Carew. J.R. Richard. Roy Smalley. Steve Carlton. Jim Palmer. Here we go. Got Ron Say, and you got a nice looking Nolan Ryan. Off-centered, but good shape, and that's his last year with the Angels, so that's a nice card. I'll let's see, will they fit on the stand here like this? They probably won't. They will. Put that up there like that. We've got Claudel Washington. Oh, here we go. We got a nice Pete Rose. There we go. And let's see who we have here. We have Dave Winfield and Steve Kemp. We got a Fred Lynn. Let's see. We got Pops, Willie Stargell. We got a panel here of John Stearns, Lee Mazzilli with the Mets, and one of my favorites, Larry Boa. Another guy who, if you're a TTM person, is great through the mail. Gets back autographs in like a week. Larry Hizzle. Here you got two good ones. Dave Parker and Eddie Murray. I actually have the Kellogg's rookie card of Murray from '78. It's a great card. Here's your see, here's how they come. But see how they just kind of fall apart. Yaz, Andre Thornton, Davey Lopes and Ken Singleton. And then our last few here, we've got Vida Blue. We got Keith Hernandez and Jim Rice. Ted Simmons. And last but not least, Mr. October himself, Reggie Jackson. And that's a nice looking, pretty centered, pretty nice looking card right there. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. This is our stack here of those 1980 Kellogg's. And if you like videos like this, check us out. I've got a lot of videos posted. This is my first long-form video in quite a while. I made a move from the West Coast to the East Coast to be closer to family, to take care of my mom a little bit. And, you know, so I've just been sort of consumed and have tons of time to make videos. But hopefully going to start pumping out some more content. I love making the videos and love sharing my collection and opening wax packs and providing as much fun for the hobby as I can. Hope you have a great day, and check us out on ClassicWaxSportsCards.com. Thanks.